What a night, what a night, what a night, what a night I had. It happened so quickly. It happened so quickly, and the spontaneity was amazing. And I said, yes, let's do this. I got a text from my daughter, and she said, Dad, Zack Brown is in LA at Desert 5, which is like a country line dancing, amazing rooftop bar in Hollywood. Zack Brown Band is here. They're doing a pop-up concert. They just announced it like 5 hours before. First 100 people or something like that. I immediately text their tour manager with whom I'm friends, David Plyler. And I said, is it? And I noticed there's a text from him. Steve, let me ask you a question. Why is it that sometimes somebody sent you a text and it didn't pop up as a new text? It's just there, like it was read already.
Crazy, especially when Zack Brown's on the line.
When Zack Brown's on the line, thank God my daughter sent me that. Unbelievable. We get 4 tickets. We go, Allie, my girlfriend, my 2 daughters, Josie, who's 27, Mary, who's 24. We go see Zack Brown. I sent the footage late to Steve. We're going to roll some of it back. 45 minutes straight he played. I got to tell you, I have to give props, big props to Zack's publicist who put the whole thing together, Stephanie Jones. Stephanie Jones has represented Zack Brown for 10 years. Stephanie Jones, who used to represent Baldoni and Wayfair and has that lawsuit going on with her ex-employee and current publicist to Baldoni, Jen Abel, and all that. Stephanie Jones put on an amazing night. It was great. Guess who the guest appearance was? Came out of nowhere. There we are. Oh, geez, do I look hammered? I am not that hammered. My eyes were closed, but I did have a few beers. Again, going back to
a few beers, Billy.
Oh, no, but that going on there. I sent you the wrong picture, right? Take that down, Steve. Jesus, for the love of God, Steve. Do you have any? Oh, my God, I'm asleep standing there. Yeah, I did.
Very good. That looks like a good night is actually what it looks like.
I love Zack Brown. I got into it. I did. And you know what? Once again, a great friend of mine said, don't be the guy the next day that does the whole self-loathing thing. Just keep going. You've got a great life. Have the gratitude. You open the valves a little bit. Snoop Dogg comes out. They got this hot song together. Snoop comes out. He's ripping a giant blunt. He is just huge J. One of my daughters, I'm not going to say this, Dad, I really think I need to rip off that joint with absolutely not. You're not doing that. I think she was joking. But it was unbelievably fun. I mean, God, Zack Brown is good. Oh, I followed them off the stage.
What's going on here, Bill? What's going on here?
This is the exit going down the stairs. There's Caroline Jones in the front, who's absolutely beautiful. And an incredible singer. She is married to one of my friends from high school's younger brother, Nick Dana, who's a tremendous sailor. But that's Caroline Jones, and she's a great singer.
Oh, Snoop in the back. I just see Snoop. Yeah,
the whole Zack Brown band right there, and Snoop's in the back. They all exited down there, and then they came back in once the crowd had left to film a music video. So they did a couple of scenes, and we stayed for that. So we got to hang out while they were filming the music video. The kids had a blast. So I just got to tell you, Zack Brown Band is my absolute favorite band to see live. And it was unbelievable. All right, let's check it out. There's Pinky. I love a name like Pinky Pinciaro. Good morning, Billy. Love the clean shave. Yeah, me too. Steve and friends from, hi, Steve, from a beautiful morning in New Hampshire. Steve, do you know that I started my career in New Hampshire? That's my first job, was in New Hampshire. I worked at WLKZ Oldies 105 in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. Wolfboro, Laconia, Guilford, New Hampshire, Lake Winnipesaukee. I was a sales guy. I have a sales story I should be giving this in front of large corporations. They should be paying me to give speeches about sales.
I was just going to set you up for the sales story, Billy. So I was going to set you up for it. You went right for it.
It falls under the umbrella of everybody buys differently. Okay, I got to tell this story. So there's a huge car dealer, Tilton Ford and Plymouth Auto Village in Tilton, New Hampshire, and Plymouth, New Hampshire. And they are on every radio station, of which there are 7 in the area, except mine. They're not on my station. And I can't, why? So I'll keep it concise. I go to the little sales manager. John Vincent was his name. I said, John, can I ask you a question? He keeps shutting the door on my face. No, we're not buying. No, no, no. And finally I say, listen, I will never come back if you just tell me why you won't buy my radio station. You're on every single station except mine. I'm a 23-year-old kid selling ads door to door, getting my teeth kicked in. And he says, I'll tell you why. If you had a set of big ones, it might be different. And I'm like, big ones? Like boobs? Like, he's a little troll. Little guy. The women come in. It's female sales, account reps that come in and they butter him up and he buys it and he flirts with them because he's an ugly little guy. I said, you know what? Right on the moment. I said, you know what, John? It's amazing. We're doing this exchange program with a Swedish radio station, and we have this unbelievably beautiful girl, Helga, and she's working with us. Maybe I send her up. He goes, have a nice weekend. We'll see her on Monday. I go, I get a blonde wig. I get I Daisy Duke my shirt. I put giant socks in the top. I borrow a mini skirt from the midday girl on the air. She has big feet. I get her heels. I absolutely lipstick the whole thing. I pull in to the lot at Plymouth Auto Village. I walk in. Everybody on the sales floor is going, holy shit, that is the ugliest woman cross-dresser I've ever seen in my life. I walk in. They part the seas. I put my foot up on John Vincent's desk, and I say, Mr. Vincent, hello, my name is Helga. Billy Bush did not tell me how sexy you are. I put my foot up. He goes, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, my God. I put my foot up on his desk. I lay out a contract. I put it on the counter. It's the biggest contract that our radio station had ever seen. And we're like banging, we're hitting up, Meredith, New Hampshire restaurants, True Value Hardware. We're hitting as many different little spots. He goes, oh my God. He looks at the thing. The whole place is laughing. The mechanics have come out from the bays in the back. They're all gathered around. People are laughing. He looks at the contract. He signs it. Unbelievable. Signs the contract, got the biggest deal in my life. And all I had to do was cross-dress. But the point is, people buy differently. He's a misogynist little prick. And that's what he wanted, was a saleswoman with big boobs. So I gave it to him. Wow. Everybody's talking about the, yeah. Can you imagine it, Lisa? Lisa right here. Yeah. I mean, it was, what a sight. Yes, we did. We got it done. Steve, you'll take over the chat. I got to talk about this Hunter Biden's interview. Holy mackerel. It's everywhere. So the woman in wardrobe at Extra, who's a friend, Julie, her son is the second in command, the right-hand man of Andrew Callahan of Channel 5 on YouTube. And Andrew Callahan's been, working for this Hunter Biden interview. He did it, and it's 3 hours long, and I guess they did it in his backyard, and it goes everywhere, covers everything. People be talking about this today in a big way. It was Hunter Biden's first televised interview in years, after he was convicted of 3 felony gun charges, federal tax charges. He was pardoned by his father with a blanket pardon for anything he committed or may have committed between January 1st, 2014 and the end of 2024. Remember that? There was a lot of fuss about the pardon, but Joe said, I don't give a shit. These people forced me out. I'm taking care of my son. Bye. And he talked about his dad's health. He said, the one thing about my dad is that he'll never complain. He has very advanced cancer, spread beyond his prostate. His bones are strong. He's in good health otherwise. They can treat it, but it's not curable. There's old Joe. Then Hunter Biden ripped the Democrats who called on his father to step down. I think they had to, Hunter. I'm sorry. And about that debate, he said his dad is a regular user of Ambien. He'd been traveling around the country all over the place, and he was using Ambien. So you can expect a statement from Ambien today. He went on to talk about the Pod Save America podcast. He says, what 4 white millionaires that are dining out on their association with Barack Obama from 16 years ago, living in Beverly effing Hills, telling the rest of the world what black voters in South Carolina really want, or what women want. The waitress living outside of Green Bay really believes. He ripped Clooney, called him a brand, not an actor. He went all over Jake Tapper. What influence does Jake Tapper have over anything? He's got the smallest audience in cable news. He went nuts. He said he loves Kamala, love her like family. On immigration, Steve, roll the immigration clip. He went sort of nuts.
One, am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. Fuck you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your fucking table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your fucking garden? Who do you think is here by the fucking sheer fucking just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance? And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think the debate was a disaster, and I think he had to step down. It wasn't just the debate. You know, as far as immigration, a lot of people agree, I think, with Hunter. It seems like he's gearing up for some kind of run. He says, if I run in 2 or 3 years from now or 4 years from now, if I decide to run, you know, these are the things. I was like, really? I don't know about that. What do we say in the chat here? Mel, just can't believe Hunter B. about anything, but they surely did prop Biden up there like a sad puppet. Horrible to see if you have any empathy at all. Amen to the immigration comments. Yeah, a lot of people agree with that, Chrissy. I think so. So basically, he's saying people from other countries can only do manual labor. Yeah, that comment is already starting to bite him in the ass. Yeah. So anyway, that interview was 3 hours long. This kid sat there did a good job. I'll say that. Probably getting a little more praise than the Nelk boys who interviewed Bibi Netanyahu, and the internet's going nuts because young people tend to side with the Palestinians, and so they're ripping, you know, the Nelk boys for asking Bibi Netanyahu if he likes McDonald's more than Burger King. But kind of smart for Bibi to get on there with to go after the young audience. And the Nelk boys are sort of the antidote to the Zoran Mamdani people. Anyway, Stephen Colbert. Colbert. Oh my God, Colbert was great last night. He read Trump's tweet. I absolutely love that Stephen Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. And Colbert says, how dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? And he changes cameras as he likes to do and says, go F yourself. The crowd erupts. They go nuts. Problem with what Stephen said is there goes the Paramount deal, right? They paid off Donald Trump in the big fat bribe, as Stephen calls it. They paid off Paramount to appease Donald Trump. They give him the 6. Now what happens? Total trouble. The deal is going to get held up again. Now Trump says, what did Colbert just do? When you announce that Colbert is leaving his show, and then you give him another 8 months to go, all he's going to do is go after Donald Trump. Donald Trump is now going to go back and say, you know what? Let's hold up the deal again. Get rid of him now. Oh, my God. They just screwed themselves. And now if they go and silence Colbert, then they just look terrible. So, unbelievable. Steven's just going to go off. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's check in here with the Chatsky. Dragonfly. Oh, favorite news in the morning. Yeah, just a little chit chat. I love that. Let's see. Anyone in politics or around it needs to learn about civics and public speaking, including Hunter. Oh, Hunter talked about his crack cocaine. He was like, what's worse is alcohol. I was like, oh my God, I think I had a little bit too much last night. But he in a way sort of defended crack. It's very odd. Hunter was one of the biggest reasons Biden lost his reputation. The laptop. Well, they talked about the laptop too. A lot. They talked about, but he was really evasive on the laptop. He said, everybody has a digital life. By whatever means, they got my digital footprint going back decades. It's an entire fiction that makes money off of who thinks that's right. Well, bullshit. Remember, they tore down people for Russian disinformation about the laptop, denying it was his. They even got 60 Minutes, CBS, to sit down and do a fluff interview with Joe Biden where he got to say that. Or the interviewer even brought it up and said, is this Russian disinformation? Yes, it is. It's not real. And then it went on. So that was bogus. F. Hunter, I do my dishes. I do my gardening. You entitled POS. Yeah, I think he must have. How did he not know that would have been just? I blame Jill for putting Joe out there under those conditions, says Kim. I do too. You know, the tip-off for Jill was when she had the U.S. Marine Corps band write a song for her, fanfare for the First Lady. Remember that? She's like, well, if Joe has Hail to the Chief, I'd like my own song for when I enter a room. At that point, you got to say, somebody likes this position a little too much, a little too cozy. Here's Sherry. What is Hunter going to run on? Free crack for immigrants? Oh, he went nuts on immigration even deeper. He said, if you think the prison in El Salvador is not a effing concentration camp, then you're out of your effing mind. We just sent a bunch of people without due process, some of them most likely legally in the U.S. How are we getting those people back from effing El Salvador? I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now or 4 years from now or 3 years from now, it's 3, Hunter, 3.5. I would pick up the phone and call the effing president of El Salvador and say, you either effing send them back or I'm going to effing invade. Who's voting for him? I don't think very many. That's going to be, it's just, I don't believe that's what he's saying about them working. He's saying that they work unlike modern generation. Is straight up lazy. Latinos work their butts off. Yeah. Tina, here's the thing. I think something we all know. There's two sides to everything. It's how you interpret something. I think he's trying to make, a nice point. And I think that's one of them. But again, people miss nuance when they want, depending on how they, what side of the coin, is theirs. Colbert was great last night. Oh, he's going to go absolutely crazy. Buckaroo, good to see you, buddy. BB merch available. Use code genocide in the promo. Oh, BB. I thought it was Billy Bush. I think he means BB Netanyahu. Agree. Colbert has zero. He does not have zero talent, Mel. We may not agree with him. You may not agree with him. I don't know. Sometime I was a guest on his show. He didn't come in to say hello. A lot of times the late night host comes and says hello to you before the interview, before this. And I was on there in December of 2017. And he didn't. And he kind of went at me. And I don't know. It was okay. I think the Bidens need grace and peace and quiet. I think that's nice, Nita. Yeah, I think at this point, look, Joe's got advanced cancer. I don't see any advantage. Yeah, I agree. I don't see any reason to continue to pummel him. I wish Hunter could relax and take care of his dad. So sorry for our dear President Biden's health. It's a nice way to go with that. Of course he defended crack, says Stacy. I mean, somebody's got to defend crack, right? OMG, him defending crack was insane. Little Miss Jacob right there. People love the crack. I'm sure the coke wasn't Hunter's either, right? Jill is not completely at fault, but she's definitely complicit. You know, he had about 5 people around him. By the way, Hunter went off. I think you heard this on George Clooney. He said Clooney is just a brand. He's not an actor. And Clooney, wrote that op-ed to stand down. David Axelrod, Obama's political advisor, kept harping away that he needed to step down. I think we all know that. Billy, I'm still thinking about when can I have a Vesper Martini? You really sold it. Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's lawyer. My God, the Vesper Martini. Vodka, gin, a little click Lillet. Is it called click Lillet? Click? I know it's Lillet. Lillet. Just because your father, here's Tina, just because your father's in the limelight doesn't mean your life will be grand. Everyone deals with life differently. Yeah. That's a good comment right there. No shit. All right. I mean, well, here's one that's pretty solid. He's a blowhard. Well, emphasis on the blow. Steve, do you have a little of that footage from Zack Brown last night?
Not yet. It's coming up in a second here, though, buddy.
Oh, I thought I saw it in there. Unbelievable. Steve sent something in here. This is oh, you know what we got to mention, guys? I think I blocked it out because it's so unbelievably sad, and that is Malcolm Jamal Warner. Holy shit, what a nice guy. Life is so fleeting. Yeah, just caught in a riptide in Costa Rica and gone. Just dead at 54. Loved his little daughter. He said he was wrapped around her finger. Loved his wife. Just breaks my heart. He was always great whenever he'd come in for an interview, just in the best mood, big smile. The great Theo Huxtable. Really sad. Really liked him a lot. I was going to interview his co-star from Community. He did a whole sequence on Community with Yvette Nicole Brown, and I was texting with her yesterday. She was going to come on hot mics, but then she just couldn't. She just couldn't process the whole thing. So about an hour before she backed out. But I've been caught in a riptide in Mexico. My then wife Sydney and I went on a little vacation, and I got caught in the I didn't see the red flag on the beach like a dope that said don't go swimming, and I got caught out there, and I yelled to her. I said, Sydney, you help, get the lifeguard. And she ran up, got the lifeguard, and he came down and he threw me one of those rings, and I'm holding onto it, and he swims out there with me, the guy, and he's trying to get in. He can't get in. And then 5 other lifeguards come down. And they're pulling and pulling and pulling. It takes 5 men to pull the 2 of us out of the water. And I just don't know what would have happened. I'm screaming, like yelling and yelling. There's people on the balconies of their rooms overlooking the beach. And they're like, holy shit. And it was in like the New York Post a couple days later. Billy Bush screaming like a child, for his in the water. They kind of had fun of it. But they have no idea how absolutely terrified I was. Man. Good morning from Dallas, Texas. Gotta love the Big D. Who's the long distance one today? I mean, how far are we? He needs to be funny like Gutfeld. Gutfeld doesn't give a shit, right? That's interesting. He didn't care. Never Colbert humor or lack. Who was our? We had a South Africa the other day, I think. And one day we had a Thailand, Steve. Robin Willis, Billy, how did you grow up around all these people and not turn out to be a douchebag? Well, some would say I did. I didn't grow up in Hollywood. I grew up in New York City, and I moved out here 20 years ago. I've been here 20 years. I moved out here to replace Pat O'Brien on Access Hollywood. And I'd really never been to LA. And I was like, oh God. But I was the New York correspondent for Access Hollywood at the time. And Pat, they couldn't agree on a contract. And he went on to the Insider. And so they moved me out here. And I've been here ever since, minus the little trip to New York for the Today Show. Back to Stephen Colbert. Never piss off a comic, ever. What are they going to do? Honestly, what do you do with Stephen Colbert? Paramount, CBS really screwed up here. Their deal to sell to Skydance, Larry Ellison's son, David, is going to fall apart. David Ellison just met with Brendan Carr, the FCC chair, to work out the finer points now that they've done the big payoff of $16 million. They meet, they're going to put the deal together. Stephen goes in, starts ripping Trump again. Just firing back, by the way. I mean, who the hell is commenting? I absolutely love that they fired Colbert. Just, God. The pettiness is too much. But of course, also a distraction. There's bigger things. And it just seems like MAGA is not going to let go of the Epstein files. They're not going to let go. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is as MAGA as they come, is saying absolutely not. She's dug in on it. Unbelievable. Yeah. Good morning, Bill.
Oh, Bill, I got one for you here. I've been saving this one for you. Let me get your thoughts on this one here. There you go, from Lisa.
My hubs and I are going on a cruise. The socials keep mentioning pineapples. Should I be concerned?
What do we think?
For those who are just joining us in life, the pineapple, I guess, is an indication that you swing. I think, Lisa, you and your husband should just have a little fun. Not suggesting you swing in any way. I'm just saying maybe, leave a pineapple out and just see who knocks on the door. Then you can turn them down. Of course, your husband will be helpful in that effort, but see if it works and report back to us because we all want to know about this pineapple thing.
Where do the pineapples go when you're on a cruise? Like, I mean, does everybody know you're hanging the pineapple at the end of the hallway? So,
well, the first indication is if you are, the food and beverage guy and you laid out the buffet and all of a sudden the pineapple's the first thing to go. People are stashing them in their purses and things.
Upside down.
Yeah. Then you're sailing the friendly seas.
Like maybe at dinner, you grab the pineapple and you just turn it upside down in the middle of the table and see who comes. I don't know how that works.
They say the other things, and Peter Murphy, our friend from Canton, Massachusetts, longtime police sergeant, he's the one who told us. Also, he told us about the keys in the bowl.
Yeah.
Like at a swingers party, they put keys in the bowl, and you just pull out a set of keys, and you walk around and beep beep beep, and you hit the unlock button, and whoever's in there, it's like sex roulette. This is. I mean, I'm a conservative guy. I don't like any of that action. I'm afraid I would like. And then are you obligated? What if you like open the door and someone in there is like, hello, and you're like, yeah. Do you have to finish the job? Did you sign up? Do you have to deliver for what you signed up for? Billy has a lot of joy in his life. A lot of joy this morning. LOL. 3 of us on. Okay. I do have some joy. I got to tell you, I was overserved last night. I confess to it. But I said, I'm not going to bitch. I'm going to power through. And God, do I love Zack Brown. I just rocked out to Zack Brown. Oh, man, look at Snoop on stage right there. Look how small this venue is. This is a rooftop bar in L.A. Look at they're the girls. They're doing their dance. These women are they're filming a music video. So there's a part of this that is these are performers. But this song, I can't play it because YouTube won't let me. But Zack Brown and Snoop, it's excellent. Super tight. All right, let's see what's going on here in the chat. What are your thoughts about Lally on the stand? Oh, I didn't see it. Adam Lally was the first prosecutor. I got to catch up on that. Sorry, Tina. Thanks for pointing that out. He was the first prosecutor in the Karen Reed first trial. They removed him and replaced him with Hank Brennan, which, by the way, good for Lally. He did better than Brennan, right? At least he got a mistrial. Brennan lost 0 for 3. Oh, yeah. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yeah, so sad. I surfed in Costa Rica. I must have a strong riptide. Where I got caught in the rip current in Cabo is the Sea of Cortez. And I will say that was strong, just awful. Theo getting his ears pierced. One of my favorite episodes. Yeah, that's just perfectly teed up for a fatherly lesson from, well, and by the way, as it relates to Bill Cosby, he never, he couldn't wrap his head around what Bill Cosby allegedly did, and because that wasn't his experience. He was so nurtured and mentored by Bill. They remained friends for life, and he's just like, I can't. It's not my experience. I don't know, and I think, in his heart, he probably, 72 women or 80 women don't get together to tell a lie to tear down a man. 80 women don't conspire and say, you know what? Let's take down that very nice man that America loves on television and just tell a different story and ruin him. That just doesn't happen. Yeah. So, Steve, check out the, here we go. Okay. I'm sorry he lost it with a vaccine dance. Oh, that's, I think we're back to Hunter Biden right there. What does that say? Along with the program, that was the most horrible thing. So I'm missing that one. I'm so sorry. Louise, morning, Billy, looking lovely and fresh without the stash. It had to go. I think everybody agrees it had to go. It is, is it upside down pineapple? Yes. It's upside down pineapple. You can't just put the pineapple outside the door on your cruise. You've got to do it upside down. Otherwise, you're just saying, I really love, fruit. And people are saying, why did someone leave a pineapple outside the door? But if it's upside down, then you are communicating it is on like Donkey Kong. Well, you will get a kick out of The Hunting Wives on Netflix. No pineapples. The Hunting Wives. I'm always looking for a new show. What's that, Steve? Have you heard of The Hunting Wives?
I have not. We did have someone comment on watching Untamed. Did you get on that one yet? I told you about. I'm about halfway through now.
Now, I'm sucked into the second season of Broadchurch.
Oh, yeah.
There's Lisa again. We love Lisa. We'll see what happens. All right. Lisa, do we have an agreement? Are we going to do this? Are you going to put an upside down pineapple outside your door on the cruise and tell me if anyone weird knocks? We really want you to do that for us. Yes. That is what I want to see more than anything. Where is Lisa? I'm going to go find Lisa again. Lisa.
I'll say this much, Lisa, you definitely have to report back after the cruise now.
Oh, she definitely does. Yeah.
Let us know if you did or didn't or what you saw.
Yeah. Lisa, we'll hear back from Lisa. Fish for Lisa's comment here. I want to get a commitment. Lynn says, my husband and I went fishing on the Sea of Cortez when I was 4 months pregnant. I assumed that because I was not drinking that it would be fine. I was sick the entire time, vomiting over the side, very queasy. Yeah, I don't do that. I cannot deep sea fish. It's too much. I love, flying around in a boat. But I can't do the deep sea fishing. It's just, we're going to test our guinea. Ooh, Lisa, we're going to be our test guinea pig. Oh, okay. D. Marie is also going to give us an upside down pineapple just to see what happens. Okay. Billy, you got to turn on memberships, not for nothing. Hey, Joey. Thanks. I don't know. Kind of just like, we're just building. At some point, maybe you should, because you know what? I don't have a job as of tomorrow. Holy shit, that just hit me again. I'm out of television, traditional linear television, where I was mostly employed for 24 years. Yeah, 24 years. Holy shit, that's big. Stepping down. There's another one, by the way, all you not swingers, swinger curious. Yeah, garage door partially open. They say if the garage door is 1 foot up, and you leave it a foot, I don't know why, but that's a symbol. I always thought it was 2 Adirondack chairs, too, out on the front lawn. That said we swing. I also, most likely, people are just making this up. I've been watching The Hunting Wives, too. They need upside down pineapples on that show. I don't know what that is. I really want to know. I cruise a lot without pineapples, but they have all kinds of pineapple door clings that people use. Well, if there's a door knocker, that's a pineapple, just turn it upside down. And then, just take a little screwdriver and get in there. Unbelievable. Yeah. There's lake people here. Swim up here in the Great Lakes. They don't try to eat you. Much friendlier waters. There's lake people and there's ocean people. I am absolutely an ocean man. Billy, you missed an opportunity to ask Kat if she has read Justin's lawsuit info since her 1/2/25 article in the Free Press, and has her opinion changed. We do have some Baldoni news, by the way. She's talking about Kat Rosenfield, who is a writer for the Free Press. I had her on yesterday to talk about the Coldplay couple, and just she was on the Big Show, the main podcast, and she said basically the title was "The Coldplay Couple Did Wrong, the Internet Did Worse." It did bring out there was a bloodlust for sure, and I think it's probably already over. People have moved on. What did you quit, Billy Boy? Why did you quit? Oh, TV. Why did I quit? Well, because it's shrinking very quickly, and the money I would have been paid for the next year would have been like a 50-60% pay cut. I mean, it would have there's just no money. There's just no money. And it's not like, you can say, oh, come on, it's Warner Brothers. They've got plenty of money. Please, you can find. They don't. They really don't. Not in this. They could pull it from somewhere else, but the ratings aren't, growing. The ratings aren't growing anywhere. What I've said about television is the show that loses audience the slowest is the winner. That's it. That's why, morning television is so competitive right now, but they've got the safest people on there. And as soon as one of them says something that could be misconstrued as something else, they're gone. It's a treacherous place to be if you want to hang on to your paycheck, but nobody is getting a raise at all, and the pay cuts are massive. I was talking to a particular friend of mine who's on a big primetime television show, and said year over year, enjoying a 50% pay cut right now. So mine would have been 50, something like that. And how do I have the time to throw my energy into what is potentially the future for me if I'm going there every day? So the idea is, Hot Mics goes 3 times a week as we get back in the fall. After I get back from Maine, it's going to be hard to do from Maine. I'm going to go but we'll do twice a week from Maine, and we'll do morning mics from Maine. But yeah, that's the future. So it's like, I should have done it a long time ago. But here's the thing. I was missing something. Balls. Missing the cojones to do it. I was like, I don't know. It's better to be safe, here, take the big company check, the whole thing. And they'll pay you. I mean, I've had some decent paychecks in over the years. At Access Hollywood, when I was doing Access Hollywood Live, Access Hollywood, and I was doing a syndicated radio thing, that was like, oh, wow, we were flush. But then just, since 2016, it's just, also, there was an unhirability factor for a couple of years. So, but this is the future, and you know what? I am the. You can ask Steve. Steve, I am the head of HR here at
Oh,
Hot
yes.
Mics, right?
Head of HR, one of the great bookers.
I'm a booker. I'm a host. I'm a
Yes.
producer with you, and
No doubt.
I am the head of HR. Steve, I've been wanting to call you into HR.
Okay.
And welcome.
Thanks.
Whatever it is that you did, I don't care.
I like that.
Please do it again. Feel free to just do whatever you want. And
We
and
sort of
we'll
are
see.
doing whatever we want, aren't we?
Okay, don't forget this now.
Yeah. This lives forever, Billy. Keep that in mind. I got.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the audience. Everyone will remember. Billy, you seem to know quite a bit about this. Oh, the pineappling. We've got to be back on that. Oh my God, 2 Adirondack chairs upside down in my front yard. Let's put them all together. 2 Adirondack chairs upside down, garage door, 1 foot open.
I think we're creating the bushy club here, the bushy upside down club.
Yeah. Oh my God. We should just upside downers.
Yeah.
This community is now called the Upside Downers.
We're just
Good morning, Upside Downers.
A group of bushy swingers.
None of us have the real, the real inclination to swing. I don't know. Although I was talking to a friend of the family who was like, no, he's sort of married into the family, but he's been married for 40 years. And we were at a family reunion, and he's an old uncle, I guess, but by marriage. And he was telling me back in the 70s that he was dating, we were sitting at the bar, and it's like, the really old people in the family, like the people they don't talk to them. And I love old people. My father was such a beautiful man. He used to go to Mary Manning Walsh nursing home in New York every Tuesday and have lunch with his aunt, who was like 86 at the time. I was a little boy and knew Dad would leave Wall Street, go all the way up to 72nd and York Avenue in New York, have lunch with his great aunt, and all the ladies on the floor. He would swing by. My dad was really elegant, charming man, a real class act. And he would go visit the ladies and talk to them and give them a laugh. And he would go, they loved him. And after his aunt died, Dad continued to go for years until the last one of them had dropped. He's like, where is John Bush? Where's John Bush? It was so unbelievably sweet. So I'm at the family reunion a few weeks ago, talking to an old uncle. He's really old. He's 90. And he was like, back in the day, I was dating some pretty wild people. I was single for a long time. There was a wonderful sex club on 57th and the West Side. And I said, I'm sorry, what's that? Yes, there was a wonderful sex club. And I took this woman there, and we had our own room, but there was the communal room. There was the private room. There was the whole thing. And after it was over, I said, okay, let's leave. And she said, I'd like to stay. He goes, that was the end of our relationship. But he's like, I went out there for a while. I'm like, wow, if you just listen to the old guy for a minute, I'll tell you, you can learn a thing or two. Hey, follow my stalkers. Watched you from Today's Show years ago. They did you wrong. They sure did. Okay, but you know what? Whatever. Billy, you'll get the exclusive. I will look for the door clings. Lisa is on assignment. I hope that vacation is very soon. We are all dying to hear from you. Our chief upside downer. This is outstanding. I'm removing. Kel, I'm removing my Adirondacks. Oh my God. That's funny. Where do you live? Lake girl here. Yeah, it's lake or ocean. Cats or dogs. Oh, that was funny. Yesterday we had, when I was talking about Kat Rosenfield, Andrea was there. I love that Kat's brand includes a meowing cat. Her name is Kat. And in the background, the whole time we're hearing, wow, wow. And like, oh my God, that's sort of your thing. And she's like, no, just have a small apartment in New York. And I can't seem to get the cat to shut up.
Hey, Billy, Desi recommends that you take me to a Coldplay concert.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Steve? Why
I
not?
like it. It's too good to pass up.
What does this mean? GTSY.
Gutsy?
Gutsy?
Yeah.
Oh. Go take. I don't know. I don't know what that means. This is now. Billy in the future. Well, yeah. You gotta put them out on the table. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Pinky's really encouraging you on here, Lisa. Do it, do it, do it. Can't wait to hear what happens. We're all on the edge of our seats on that one. That is absolutely the truth. The upside downers. There we are. Oh my God. You know, in thoughts, probably not practice, unless there is a swinger in here. And you know what? You're welcome. We welcome everybody, all political persuasions, swingers, non-swingers, whatever you want. Bushy for president. Oh, Alita, would I do that to you? You're opening. Oh, here's a programming note. And video makes my heart sing. Such a happy, infectious intro. Loving your show. You and Steve. Dynamic dup. I think it's duo. Anyway, yeah, look at this. All right, Lisa. Oh my God, there she's back. I love her. Bushy swinger. Sounds like my husband's 70s, 80s Playboy collections that he refuses to give up. Well, that's innocent porn. I mean, that's not really porn. Playboy at this point with what's available online. I'm not a weirdo. Just grew up with 4 brothers. Yeah. I remember the first nudie mag I looked at. My buddy Xander in New York at his place, his older brother, showed us a penthouse. And I'll never forget the sequence. It was Flying the Friendly Skies. It was a flight attendant. They called them stewardesses then. And let's just say she was taking care of people in first class, sitting on their laps. And that was my first nudie magazine. Now, if you have a son, you got to watch out these little guys in the porn apps. You've got to. I will tell you, I'll have a cocktail, maybe a couple of cocktails. And, you know, but one thing I can't stand is the porn. And I'll tell you why. And I know people look at it all the time. Steve's probably looking at it now. Some people love porn so much they'll look at it while they're driving. My daughter was a waitress in a restaurant and she looked over her shoulder. Guy's waiting for his party to arrive. He's looking at porn. But the porn is deadly. It's too desensitizing. The kids, you gotta not let the kids, the little boys. So definitely check their phones. Billy, I used to airbrush tan at your house. Oh, Megan, holy shit! I used to airbrush tan at your house. Yeah, we'd go to Mexico. I'm so pale. I was like, yeah, we need to get a little something. So proud of you for everything you've accomplished through all the shit. Megan, the spray tanner. Beautiful Megan, by the way. I was always so nervous because Megan was so gorgeous that I'd be like, hey, standing there in my little skivvies. Boy, women don't care when it comes to spray tanning. They'll whip it all off. They'll be, here, no problem. Spray me, hit me. Teeny little undies and spray the boobs. And but not me. Very shy. Megan, it's so nice to hear from you. Love you. Billy, come to Aussie land and fix our political lost world. All sides upside down. We're the upside downers, not the good swinger bushy way. Oh no. I hear you. Boston girl in the house. Now I live in Kennebunk. Come on up to Maine. Yeah, no, I'll be in Maine a week from now. And it's going to be great. Oh, Xander. Yeah, Robin, I was telling the story about Xander and his brother introducing us to the porn. Xander and Julie Bowen, correct? Well, yeah, no, Xander had I think Julie Bowen kissed Xander in high school. And I told you he's my best friend since childhood. And then he went on to date Gwyneth Paltrow his senior year in high school because he left our boarding school, went back to New York. And that's where he and Gwyneth Paltrow dated. So not bad. Xander was a handsome son of a bitch. Jesus, he was so good with the ladies. Pinky, I thought that the keys in the bowl was so that no one would drive home drunk. How naive of me. Well, that's another reason. That's the reason, that's my reason. All right. Guess what I got to do? I got to go to a meeting at 8:30 in the morning. Eesh. but for a potential sponsor of Hot Mics, some great people. And I got to go see them early up. Guys, see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Upside Downers, I'm out. Hot Mics.